Hello friends, this is Lady Flora. It's a really beautiful day today. It's about 60 degrees and got a sweater on, and I think it's just a little too much. I've got a sweater on under my Chinese jacket here. And it's just a little too much. I'm almost hot. Yeah, I know I am very spoiled to live in Florida. I'm very blessed. And if you live someplace where it's snowing, then I hope that you can tune into these videos and enjoy vicariously the good weather that I'm having here in Florida. So I really appreciate it, and I hope that you find it pleasant to tune in to this beautifulness that is February. But today is a pregnancy update because it's Thursday, and I'm 33 weeks today. And here's the bump. Not a lot is going on this week. Getting close to that time, where you start to go every 2 weeks, or every week. I'm going every 2 weeks now, but soon I'll be going every 2 weeks, and then you start to have I believe they call it the non-stress test, where they basically just count your baby's kicks, and you just go in and lay down, and they put a little monitor on your tummy and make sure the baby's kicking and moving around and stuff. So I remember doing that last time, and it was pretty fun thing to do. Sometimes they give you juice. I know my first child was sort of less active than this one is, so I would always ask for a little bit of juice, and then that would get her kicking. So I don't know if I'll have to do that with this one, but that will be happening soon-ish. Can you tell? Somebody's walking by. I've got the look on my face. Okay, they're gone. It always makes me feel a little uncomfortable, but I need to just go with it. So anyways, I wanted to do a little video about how I had a natural birth the first time. Because I think it's important, if it's something that you want to do, if it's a goal that you have, to not just go into it saying, oh, well, I'd like to have a natural birth, but we'll see what happens. I think it's important to take certain steps to try to make it happen, at least to the best of your ability. Of course, there are always going to be circumstances that come up that we don't know about, which, I was prepared for that for my first child, and I'm prepared for that now. And I like to just say, God willing, we will have a natural birth, because I'm doing whatever I can, and everything is set in motion as far as I'm concerned. But there are unforeseen things that happen, unforeseen circumstances, or conditions. Sometimes people have conditions that they don't know about, and they find out later. But there are things that you can do to make sure that you've done everything you can to have a natural birth. And I'm just going to talk about 3 things right now. And if you guys if you find this interesting, I can do another video and go more in depth about it. But the 3 things that you should probably focus on if you're determined to have a natural birth is location, education, and preparation. And location is very important, because I did not want to give birth at a hospital. And one of the benefits of not giving birth at a hospital is that's the only place you can get an epidural. You can't get an epidural at a birth center, and you can't get an epidural at home. So if you've got a midwife that's looking after you in those locations, you're not going to be able to get an epidural unless you transfer. So that was a big thing for me. It was like, well, I want to give birth here. That was one of the things that confirmed my decision to not have an epidural was, well, I can't get one here anyways. And and I don't want to be at that other place. So let's just not get one. But you know, when you do research on epidurals, you find out there's lots of reasons to not get one. And I'm very, very glad, and I have absolutely no regrets about it. But I think it's totally fine if you do get an epidural. Anyways, I'm digressing. But so that's a really important one. Location. Birthing at home, birthing at a birth center, you cannot get an epidural unless you transfer. The other one, I believe I said, was education. It's very important to go into it knowing what goes on, like knowing how your body gives birth, how your muscles react, how your bones and your joints react, and how the cartilage in your body softens, and the hormones that your body produces to make childbirth possible. Educating yourself with all of these things is extremely empowering, and realizing that your body is set up to do it. Like our bodies are actually physically made to do it. It's not just like a thing that happens. It's like there's all these pieces, and all the parts are in the right place in order to make childbirth not only possible, but I can't quite think of the word I'm looking for here. Very possible. So I prepared by taking a Bradley Method class, which I've mentioned before in this series that I absolutely love taking, and I highly recommend it. You can also take hypnobirthing classes. You can also read books. The book that everybody always recommends is the Ina May's, I believe it's Ina May's Guide to Natural Childbirth or something like that. And that's like the book on natural childbirth. So I recommend that. I haven't actually read that. But I also recommend watching The Business of Being Born if you can. Watching births is important too, because you want to be prepared. You know, you don't want to put negative information in your mind about scary or horrific births or traumatic births, or things where people have, like, you know, because people will try to scare you, and people will tell you their horror stories, whether you want to hear them or not. So I really recommend seeking out positive stories, and looking at videos of births that were positive, because I think going into it with a positive attitude has a lot to do with the outcome being positive as well. So that's educating yourself. I think that's very, very important. And then the last thing is preparing yourself. People never really talk about this, but there's a lot of psychology that goes into being a mother. I was gonna say especially for the first time, but really for the second time as well. Like, I'm going through a lot of mental stuff where, you know, you change how you see yourself. Your image of yourself is different, and you know, maybe you had issues with your mom in the past, so you need to think those through, and you need to kind of address those things, and or anxieties maybe that you've had about parenthood or motherhood, or anxieties about birth that you've had, or even anxieties you might have about your partner. And all of these things need to be addressed like head on, and so that you can prepare yourself mentally for the experience and be at peace, be accepting of it, be trusting of your body, and trusting of yourself that you're going to be okay, and trusting that it's something that you can do. So, sorry, I keep saying So preparing yourself mentally is very important. I also highly, highly recommend affirmations. I was never like a big affirmations person before, but after using them a lot in preparation for the birth of my first daughter, I saw how incredibly powerful they were. And a lot of the affirmations that I used were things like, my body is made to do this, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and thousands, millions, billions of women have gone before me and have given birth without drugs, because until the 70s, I guess that's when people started having epidurals. Everybody had a natural birth before the 70s. So those kind of things can be very, very empowering and very, very inspiring. And so highly, highly recommend that you get some affirmations in your head, some good affirmations, write them down. Pinterest has some amazing, I've seen affirmation cards that I guess you can there are probably some free ones, but I think some of them will take you to Etsy where you can buy them. And I even saw, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I even saw coloring books that had positive natural birth affirmations in there. So, get yourself prepared, get your resources, surround yourself with resources. I've heard of I know hypnobirthing does a lot of, you listen to a person walking you through affirmations and saying, ride each contraction like a wave and stuff like that. And then I believe there's one called Supernatural Childbirth, which I'm actually really curious about, and I'm wanting to find more information about it. I heard about it from the Mama Natural YouTube channel, which is really awesome, by the way. Really, really great channel with lots of great information. So those are the top things that you should be focusing on if you really want to have a natural birth and if it's your goal. Location, education, and preparation. So those things are pretty important, because people are going to give you their opinion, and hopefully the people that give you their opinion are going to be people that maybe are not the most important people in your life. They're not the people that you're closest to. I was very lucky that all the people I was closest to, my husband, obviously my mom, they were very supportive of the idea, and they didn't question my decision or impose any anxieties on me or anything like that. But then I had other people here and there at work who would say, you're doing what? You're gonna do what? And you're gonna want the epidural. You're gonna ask for the epidural. But thankfully, when they said that to me at that point, I was mentally prepared enough to just say, no. No, I'm not going to be in a position where I could get the epidural. And secondly, I'm determined not to have one. So, yeah. So that's what I have to say. about it. Please let me know if you would like to hear more information about this topic, because I would love to share more information with you about this topic. It is one of my favorite topics to discuss. I've got some more vlogs coming up for you guys about some plants that I purchased. I just haven't had time to film yet, but I'm very excited to do some videos for you. Very excited about this time of year. Spring is coming. Yeah, so much on my mind right now. But I hope you guys are doing awesome. I would love to hear how everybody's doing. What's the weather like where you are? And would you like me to vlog in any special location, maybe? Maybe you would like to see a vlog on the beach. Let me know. I would love to try and accommodate you if I can. And any questions about natural childbirth, please let me know. And if you're watching this video because you're pregnant too, then I would love to know where you're at with that. Please comment below and let me know. And I make these videos because I believe that connecting with nature can have a positive impact on your life. So if you're new, I would love to have you comment, like, subscribe, and share. And after you do that, go outside.